2. Niyama, self-disciplines. The second component of Patanjali's yoga path is niyama, which includes virtuous habits and observance, the do's. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "A person is what he or she thinks about all day long." That may seem simple, yet our words create our life. Sausha, purity, clearness of mind, speech, and body. Why is humanity in this state of misery? Yet most people don't know that they are drowning in misery. Most people don't want to change. Most people are lethargic. We are constantly doing. Mankind gets bored when sitting still. Currently, man is not in sync with natural laws. Our subconscious is running the show. From a practical aspect, man is living in darkness. There is a jewel hidden within, and man seeks for the jewel externally. How does man purify himself? The definition of purity is the following: freedom from alteration or contamination. The definition of purify is the following: to change something, to remove dirt, chemicals, or anything else that is contaminated with. So the goal is to purify the mind and body. Modern day scientists are discovering there's no demarcation point between the body and mind. When the mind thinks, the body reacts to the appropriate mental state and the emotion tied to it. For example, if a person is angry, over 1,500 different chemicals get secreted in the bloodstream. This affects the entire body. Over time, disease will occur. Cancer is a manifestation of angry cells. Man lives like leaves blowing in the wind. He reacts to every situation. A wise man lives in the center of the hurricane. In India lies the lotus flower. This flower roots live in the dirty, mucky water, yet it rises above and blossoms into an incredible flower. We come into this world with a clean mind. We are pure, yet slowly our minds get dirty. We lose our way in life. I once met an Indian man who just came to the States in the early 70s. He didn't know that the word brainwashing wasn't a good term. He said that meditation is brainwashing the brain. I liked it. It had a positive spin to it and makes perfect sense. Did you know that Western scientists only studied happiness only 30 years ago? In the East, they have studied the mental state of happiness for thousands of years. Clearness of mind. Man is hardwired to discover God inside of him. Imagine the most beautiful car that is sitting inside of you, yet the garage door is shut. Not only that, but you have no idea that this car exists. God is sitting in the passenger seat, having a jolly good time. The laws of the universe dictate that only by your will can you discover this precious garage of life. Nobody can force you to open up the garage. Just think, the garage is present inside of you, yet you aren't aware of it. There is a veil separating you from seeing it. In order to see, one must purify the mind. It's similar to putting contaminated water through a water filter. The water filter cleans the water so it is crystal clear. The state of your mind also reflects the state of your body. If your mind wants to drink beer every day, your body slowly over time will reap the harmful effects of the alcohol. A wise man understands that in each and every moment one must monitor and train the mind. In the East, they say the most difficult thing to do in the universe is to control the mind. Clearness of speech. I'm saying this again. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "A person is what he or she thinks about all day long. You are what you speak." To be honest, when I first started on this path of awareness, I didn't understand this. I heard it, yet I didn't comprehend it. The Dalai Lama once said that every day he does a review of his activities. He goes over each moment and tries to improve upon himself. He asks the questions of how can I improve in this given situation. When I first heard this, I didn't comprehend the meaning. I thought by only meditating one could clear the mind. By clearing the speech, it clears the mind, which clears the body. They are not isolated. One affects the other. Clearness of body. How do we fine-tune this body? Most people are oblivious to this. We go through life oblivious to the action we take will have either a positive or negative effect on the human body. I mentioned this before, but is highly relevant today. A few years ago, I worked for a firm that developed software for heart surgeons. Each step of the way in the operation, a series of questions and steps would be presented to the surgeons. Anyway, I casually asked the CEO of the company, why isn't preventative medicine more pervasive? He told me that nobody wants to take responsibility for their lives. They want Western medicine and doctors to fix them. Nobody wants to be responsible for their actions. They expect a doctor to cure them without taking any responsibilities for themselves. A wise man learns how to be in harmony with nature and God. I got into preventative medicine in high school. My theory was, you get only one body, might as well take care of it properly. Many of my friends were into drugs and alcohol. I was into surfing and meditating. I learned to constantly fine-tune the mind, body, and soul. Your body is your drugstore. The art of Taoism has been around for thousands of years. I find it quite fascinating that they talk about the elixir of life. This elixir is not an herb or any external substance. This elixir exists inside of us. In India, they talk about the nectar from God that flows within. Yet here we are taking drugs for our ailments. Each drug has a huge side effect. Now, I'm not saying don't take drugs. I'm saying maybe there is a better way. For example, in China, you pay your doctor when you are healthy. You don't pay when you are sick. Mind you, in modern China, this isn't always the case. But the point is that you focus on balance and harmony. In our culture, everything is fragmented. We don't focus on the harmony of the mind, body, and soul connection. When I was young, I heard about the concept of being in harmony with the universe. To be quite frank, I had no idea what they were talking about. Here's an example of being out of balance. In my junior year, my parents took our family to Yosemite. It's probably one of the most incredible places on the planet. Yet, I couldn't see the forest from the trees. I was miserable. Why? Because I missed the ocean. Now, that's being out of balance. Before we can begin to be in harmony with the universe, let's try to be in harmony with the planet Earth. Currently, man has divorced himself from our precious Earth. We pride ourselves with the technology that we have, yet we are totally emotionally immature with the Earth. Where am I going with this? Imagine if man was in absolute harmony with the Earth. Can you imagine the wisdom that it has? It might tell you that your body is your drugstore. Every thought, whether positive or negative, secretes over 1,500 positive or negative chemicals. Currently, most of America is totally out of balance. Look at the problems today. I used to work for the USDA. I saw my friends taking up vaping. I couldn't believe how much smoke came out when they exhaled. It was at least 5 times the smoke from regular smoking. No wonder there is such an epidemic. Imagine there are drugs existing inside of you that are dormant. In order to receive them, you must be in balance and harmony. In each and every moment, we have the opportunity to be conscious and aware. Currently, we are playing the same tapes over and over again. I can guarantee you that these elixirs of life work better than any physical drugs. Your body has the intelligence to produce these for you. How many people listen to their bodies? How many people monitor their thoughts? How many people dive into silence? How many people monitor their actions? You see, there is a moment-by-moment conscious event. When we are unconscious, chaos exists. Look at the world around you. Does it seem to be in balance and harmony? The question is, do you want to change? Are you content with the current conditions? This isn't just Richard on a soapbox. I'm asking real questions. What do you think? You are your savior. Nobody's going to save you except yourself. All the scriptures point the way, but we must walk on this path. This human body is hardwired to find God within. We are on this incredible journey to discover our true nature. We are out of balance, and yet we can learn how to be in balance. These are exciting times. Millions of people are waking up. Play with your chemistry kit. We are all playing with our own chemistry kits. Unfortunately, we aren't aware of it. Many people blow themselves up without realizing it. In each and every moment, thousands of chemicals are being released throughout your human body. Mankind is spinning out of control. We are drinking our own poison. We get angry at someone or political point of view. In the meantime, we drink our angry poison. We then wonder why illness arrives on our doorsteps. The wise man understands the repercussions of negative thoughts and emotions. Moment by moment, one plays this video game of life with awareness. One taps into the infinite ocean of love and compassion. This is our true home. My advice is learn how to change your own chemistry. Remember, you are the master chemist. Only you are playing with your chemistry kit. Ponder this over. This could make your life so much easier.
Recently, I read an incredible article which describes the nature of consciousness. It was talking about a term called panpsychism. During the 1920s, Bertrand Russell came up with this term. It's kind of like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? What comes first, a human body or mind? Or is there awareness beyond that? Is the universe aware and consciousness? Is there a conscious quantum soup of consciousness? Does a rock or a flower aware? Does consciousness require a form? How big or how small can the form be to be aware? Is dark matter aware? Is the sun in the sky aware? What denotes awareness? Some people think, which I also do, that the foundation of the universe is consciousness. The entire universe is aware. Before the Big Bang, consciousness existed. This is not the first time a universe was created, nor will be the last time. Like the incoming of breath and the outflow of breath, the universe comes and goes. Granted, it takes billions of years, but still, that is a blink of an eye for eternity. In this article, they describe that even particles are alive and aware. These are part of a cosmic soup where everything is tied together. The entire universe is comprised of this soup. Imagine making a homemade soup. You blend it all together and combine milk or cream. Your family loves it. Now you can't take out a single ingredient. You can't. In the same way, there is a universal soup of consciousness which we are part of. It is quantum. It is beyond time and space. We always think in linear fashion. In the quantum world, the past, present, and future are melded together. There is a whole set of chaotic laws that we can't even conceive. Man thinks that by using logic that they can understand the quantum soup, but it's beyond logic and rational thinking. Personally, I think the great mystics got a piece of the puzzle. Not the entire puzzle, but a piece of the puzzle contains the whole puzzle. It's like a hologram. A small piece contains the entire piece of the puzzle. What if a person who meditates can be in a place where they are receptive to the inner light inside? Imagine this light is the same light as the quantum universe. Everything is a part of this light. E equals mc squared. Everything is energy and light. Everything is alive and aware. Maybe, just maybe, a meditator can see and feel the quantumness of the universe. Maybe the laboratory of life exists inside of us. Maybe we are created to find and discover this inside of ourselves. Personally, I think we're at the beginning stages of development. While we still are babies in emotional development, we still fight and war with each other. We use our precious discoveries of the universe to make atomic bombs. We have a president who tweets, "My button is bigger than your button." A thin thread is holding a knife over our heads, and we are oblivious to it. I have great hope for the future. I feel that scientists in the world inside will lead the way for humanity. Just think, when a scientist truly begins to open the door inside, they will begin to operate at a deeper level. They can embark on the scientific discoveries of the inner and the outer. Both of them will lead to the same place. Life is a mystery. Both the scientists and the mystic are embarking on an incredible journey. The light particles that a mystic sees are the same light particles that a scientist uses in CERN, Switzerland. Both of them are in different laboratories. One is outer and the other is inner. Personally, I think the mystic has an advantage. The human body is wired for this experiment. The human body has 5 senses, which there are 5 internal senses within. The human being can learn how to become aware of the consciousness of the universe. A human being is hardwired for this experience. Yet most of the time, the car is sitting in the garage. The garage door needs to be opened, and you must back out the car and take it for a spin. Humanity is just beginning to understand to open up the garage door within. When they do, scientists will go in another completely different level. There, the universe can show humanity gifts we could never imagine. You see, without kindness, the universe will only show you so much. It'll be like handling a small child an atomic bomb. They wouldn't know the damage what it could do. We are in that state. Without humanity becoming a kind man, we will never progress to our true potential. You see, the universe is kind and aware. The universe is love and compassion. Become like the mystic and discover your true nature. You are the universe. You just don't know it.
Asana. Postures. The meditation posture should be steady and comfortable. Yoga Sutras. Asana is a posture that one can hold for a period of time. Stay relaxed, steady, comfortable, and motionless. The Yoga Sutra does not list any specific asana. Ayana translates verse 147 of Yoga Sutra as asanas are preferred over time by relaxation of effort with a meditation on the infinite. This combination and practice stops the quivering of the body. Any posture that causes pain or restlessness is not a yogic posture. Secondary text that discusses Patanjali's sutra states that one requirement of correct posture for sitting meditation is to keep chest, neck, and head erect. Proper spinal posture. According to Patanjali in the second book of Yoga Sutras, yoga is helping us to do the following. restraining us from harmful behavior, developing beneficial behavior, developing physical posture, creating conscious breathing techniques, develop steady concentration. Top 10 benefits of Hatha Yoga: builds flexibility and mobility, builds strength and core stability, develops balance and proportion, helps to maintain healthy joints, stimulates the immune system, may reduce inflammation and inflammatory disease, improve sleep quality, helps develop discipline and self-control. Many people think that Hatha Yoga is the only thing to practice in the West. I've been on this path for over 49 years. I first learned yoga in high school. Back then, you were a commie if you thought outside of the box. Today, yoga is mainstream. There are many different forms of yoga. Unfortunately, many of them only focus on the physical. This is only a speck of dust compared to the vast universe of yoga. The majority of yoga classes today lack integrity. They only emphasize the physical postures. That is only one branch on the tree of life. The student never understands the complete picture. They were never allowed to know that the postures are only a small piece of the pie. Most centers never discuss the moral principles of the yogic path. This path is overcoming all the obstacles that keep us from recognizing our true nature. The path of yoga, if used correctly, can help eliminate mental suffering at all levels. I was trained to be in a state of meditation when I practiced yoga. For 49 years, I've been trying to be consciously aware of the power behind my breath. The entire universe is keeping you alive. For me, practicing the posture is sacred and holy. Note, this is a mindset that should be developed over time. Never strain or push yourself deeper into a position. Listen to your body. Your body is intelligent. Never look at another person and judge them or judge yourself. Each one of us has our own different bodies. This is not a competition. Don't show off. You bring the world and the ego into your daily practice. Just let it go. When I do a posture, I close my eyes and focus on my breath. Just relax. Your body and mind will love it. It doesn't matter if you've mastered this posture or not. There are infinite levels of any posture. The goal is to harmonize the mind, body, and soul. Remember that yogis knew that a strong and flexible body helps one to meditate easier. When a body is stiff and sick, it's hard to concentrate. One begins to take responsibility for your mind, body, and soul. Your human body is the most precious temple on earth. When you have that understanding, you begin to treasure every moment on earth. Yoga is a way to harmonize yourself with the universe. At least that's what it's intended for. Today, we have a 3-legged stool with 2 legs chopped off. You can no longer sit on the chair. Maybe you should ask yourself the question, how far do I want to go with this practice? If it's only for your physical body, nothing more, then just carry on. Do your practice. The ancient yogis spent each and every moment trying to be in contact with the power of the breath. This is the ultimate goal. One who does this truly becomes a human being. Hu means divine. Man equals mind. A human being is a divine mind. Today, most of us are a man, which equals mind. Look at the condition of man today. Many people start learning to meditate and give up when they see how powerful the mind is. The Yoga Sutras give tricks to the trade. They provide guidance in all areas of your life. They are a blueprint for discovering your true nature.
Where is the temple of God? Man searches near and far. We think the true temple exists outside of ourselves. Billions of dollars have been spent over time building external places of worship. Yes, they are great ways for communities to come together. But where does God reside? God resides everywhere. God resides in this universe and beyond. There's not a single space in the universe where God does not exist. Yet man, at times, is looking in the wrong place. The great masters of old said that the great temple lies in your heart. Is that a paradox? Man has spent his entire life searching for God, and the whole time the answer lies within. I see some irony in this picture, yet we have been told many different stories. Some of them were true, and some of them made up. Some of them were meant to control you and make you feel bad. But the journey of the heart begins when you realize that God exists inside of you. This is your true place of worship. Now, I'm not saying change your religion. God, in essence, is no religion. Keep your religion. You will see the true beauty of your religion. When you discover God within, you will see the unity of all religions. There is a thread of love tying us all together. This is our true state. God wants us to discover our true nature. When mankind does this, peace will be on earth. War is obsolete. The universe does not fight itself. God does not fight itself. Only man fights. This is an old way of thinking. Humanity can change. The temple of God lies inside. You can discover it. Moment by moment, your awareness can be on God. Ponder this over. A great awakening is taking place. You have a piece of this puzzle. For over 5,000 years, the Indians have discovered flower petal-shaped vortexes of energy lying across 7 different areas on our spinal column. These chakras are directly connected to the endocrine system of glands. These chakras are responsible for distributing energy through the body. When there is a blockage, disease will occur. In our next chapter, we will talk about the Chinese discoverer of meridians. I won't go through the specifics of each chakra. Here's a general overview of each one. The following information came from color-meanings.com. The root chakra. The Sanskrit word for this chakra is Muladhara chakra. Mul means root. The chakra colors associated with the root chakra is red. The root chakra defines our relationships to earth. It impacts our vitality, passion, and survival instincts. The red chakra colors are also indicative of our need for logic and order, physical strength, and sexuality, as well as the fight or flight response when faced with danger. The sense of smell in the human body is connected to the root chakra. The gland to which the root chakra is affected is the gonads. The sacred chakra. The chakra colors associated with the sacral chakra is orange. This chakra relates to the water element in the human body. The chakra colors are orange, which impacts sexuality, reproductive function, joy, desire, and even creativity, compassion for others. The sense of taste is associated with the sacral chakra. Glands and organs impacted by this chakra include the lymphatic system, female reproductive organs, large intestine, pelvis, and bladder. The solar plexus chakra. The Sanskrit words for this chakra is Manipura chakra, which literally translates to city of jewels. Thus, the solar plexus chakra is the personal power chakra that is responsible for one's personal and professional success. The chakra colors, yellow, of this energy vortexes are associated with fire, energy, change, etc. This element of fire, when balanced and harmonious, allows one to feel more confident, cheerful, and energetic, along with the right amount of respect for self and others. Our sense of sight is associated with the solar plexus chakra. The glands or organs associated with the solar plexus chakra are the adrenal glands. The heart chakra. Anahata chakra, or the heart chakra, is associated with the chakra colors green. This chakra influences our relationships and has the air element. A weak heart chakra is responsible for sabotaging the relationships through distress, anger, and envy, etc. The sense of touch is impacted by the heart chakra, and the glands connected to it are the thymus and lymph. The throat chakra. The Vishuddha chakra refers to our true voice. As the name suggests, the throat chakra, with its chakra colors blue, is associated with the ability to communicate, listen, etc. The glands to which the throat chakra is attached are the esophagus, ears, throat, thyroid, jaws, teeth, and neck vertebrae. The etheric element of the throat chakra, when balanced, allows an individual to have pleasant voice, artistic abilities, expressive ways, and also ability to be in a higher place spiritually. The individuals with a balanced throat chakra are able to meditate well and use their energy efficiently and artistically. The third eye chakra, the Anja chakra, literally translates to center of knowing or monitoring. This chakra is associated with the chakra colors indigo and is connected to the pineal or pituitary gland. Those with a well-balanced brow chakra can have telepathic abilities, charismatic personality, and they often do not have any fear of death. The element of electricity or telepathy, along with the chakra colors of indigo, are associated with our sense of thought. The crown chakra. This chakra is known as Sahasrara chakra in Sanskrit. and is associated with the chakra colors of violet or purple. The crown chakra is associated with the pituitary gland, nervous system, and the brain and head region with its elements of light. In its balanced state, this chakra can render individuals the ability to perform miracles, transcend the laws of nature, and have a heightened awareness of death and immortality. Now, according to the great masters and mystics, the journey begins at the base of the spine. There lies the Ida and the Pingala nerve. Imagine a column called the Sushumna, which is not physical, which goes from the bottom of the spine. Here's a definition of the Sushumna from Wikipedia. Sushumna, very gracious, kind, runs along the spinal cord in the center through the 7 chakras. Under the correct conditions, the energy of Kundalini is said to uncoil and enter Sushumna through the Brahma Dwara or Gate of Brahma at the base of the spine. The Shiva Chamanta Treaty on Yoga states, for example, that out of 350,000 nadis, 14 are particularly important, and among them, the 3 just mentioned are the 3 most vital. It seems to me that God hardwired each individual human being, to help discover his true nature. The journey begins at the base of the root chakra. Here, the consciousness of me, and me reside. The human being is existing in a state of survival mode. The goal in life is to master each chakra and ultimately arrive at the crown chakra and enter its doors. At this state, one will realize that I am the universe. We are all one. This is our true state of existence. We are all one huge, gigantic family. Each one is responsible for discovering our true nature. The world would be in a better place if we all did this. Ponder this over. So you think that you are hardwired to find God? Maybe in time. Maybe it's time to use your inner key to start the engine. Let's continue how a human being is hardwired to find God. Many scientists think that a part of our DNA is multidimensional and quantum. We contain the blueprint of God inside of us. From this blueprint, a human being is created. We are created in the image of God. When I was young, I loved to study the great wisdom from India. I still do. The Indians have a theory that everything we do and say is recorded into an energy frequency. This energy frequency can be read in some part of time in the future. There are people who will fine-tune themselves to be able to read the Akashic records from another person. Now recently, many people think that in our DNA, we have a multi-dimensional DNA which contains the blueprint of God. Now imagine in this blueprint contains the entire essence of the universe and the essence of your soul's journey in the universe. You are eternal. You can never die. Your body will. Many people are discovering this concept and learning how to mine the Akashic record for themselves. Can you imagine how incredible that would be? It means that you could stop any diseases coming your way. You would be in tune with God and listen to the wisdom that lies within. You could bring back all the positive attributes you have learned on your magnificent journeys in life. A person could tap into the future and bring back wisdom such as inventions that would help our fellow man. From that state, it would be easy to go from me to we. If we could consciously tap into the oneness and blueprint of the universe. As you can see, the car is sitting in the garage gathering dust. The car is meant to be driven on the freeway of life. Moment by moment, we can drive our car and gather a greater understanding of why we are alive. We spend most of our lives in a survival mode. We spend most of our times living by our habits and subconscious. Imagine we're literally hardwired to discover our true essence. Yet, so many humans are oblivious to this fact. You see, we have free will and free choice. The entire universe lives by this law. At times I think, well, maybe human beings shouldn't have free choice, and we would come into this world and never forget our true nature. Peace would always prevail on earth. Anger and war would not exist. Heaven would be on earth. Yet, life is a grand adventure. We come into this world to discover our true nature and to help transform this world from darkness to light. It's a cosmic game. This isn't the first time this game has been played. For time immemorial, this game has been played through the universe and countless other universes. The entire universe is watching us and cheering for us. They are rooting us on. We have incredible coaches that help and assist us. Yet, they can't take a single step for us. You see, each of us has to play the game without any steps taken by another being. These are exciting times. We as humanity is going from me to we for thousands of years because of thinking. It's all about me. We have fought countless wars. We're living in an era where this is changing right before our eyes. Ponder this over. You are hardwired to discover God. You contain within your DNA the blueprint of God. We are all custom designed by God. Yesterday, I heard an interesting interview with Bruce Lipton. He is a scientist and has a fascinating story to tell. He wasn't interested in God, religion, or anything spiritual. His passion was science and biology. He was studying the structure of cells. One day, he discovered that our cells have antennas embedded on the surface of the cells. We have trillions of cells, and each cell had this antenna. He thought to himself, mind you, I'm paraphrasing what he said. He asked himself, what are these antennas for? For what purpose do we have for them? In the real world, he thought of a TV set. You have an antenna which receives signals from a broadcast. You can change the channel and a different TV program will appear on the screen. At this point, it gets extremely interesting. Somehow, he has an epiphany that our awareness and consciousness is being broadcast from God or the quantum field. Each one of us has unique signatures. He realized that the body will die, yet our essence is always the same. We can never die. Our essence is eternal. To his amazement, he discovered that God exists inside of us. The treasures exist inside. We are hardwired to discover the universe within. Imagine all this took place within 5 minutes. From that point on, his goal was to discover his true nature. The clues are there in plain sight. Bruce then, as a scientist, began to use the lab within to discover his true nature. In the interview, Bruce said that some Jesuits said that, give me a child for 7 years and I will tell you how the child will grow up. The first 7 years a child will pick up the good, bad, and ugly. A child's brain is theta, which everything external gets sucked in from 0 to 7 years old. This goes directly into our subconscious. Now, imagine that we live our lives 98% of the time from our subconscious. Our subconscious drives our lives. This means that our lives are being driven from our early childhood. While pursuing ourselves and discovering our true nature, we live most of our lives driven by our subconscious. We react like leaves blowing in the wind. Our body is so entwined with our subconscious that we react automatically without being aware. Imagine our subconscious is like a hard drive. It has tons of data stored from the ages of 0 to 7. When an event occurs, the subconscious will go instantly to the hard drive and it knows how to react. Notice, we are oblivious to what's going on. This is mankind to a T. We have been fighting for so long. The world is on fire. People flame each other on Facebook. We have a president who tweets whatever comes to his mind. Humanity is on the verge of a major breakthrough. The signs that we were built to discover are all around us. We have all the instruments inside of us to discover our true nature. We are about to go from me to we, which is the title of this book. Imagine every single person on earth is hardwired to discover we all came from the same place. We are all family, regardless of race, color, or creed. Our true nature is kindness. Our true nature is love and compassion. We are all a spark of the divine. We are the universe. We just don't know it. These are exciting times. You hold a piece of the puzzle of life inside of you. You can change and discover your true nature. Millions of people are waking up. Recently, science and religion are really talking about the same thing. Discoveries that Bruce saw are major scientific breakthroughs for all of us. Bruce saw in a flash of light that we are being broadcasted from the quantum field. We have our name that God knows and the universe knows. Every human life is special. With our free choice and free will, we can, moment by moment, be on a conscious journey to discover our true essence. Ponder this over.
Endocrine system. The following information came from Wikipedia. The endocrine system is a chemical messenger system comprising feedback loops of hormones released by internal glands of our organism directly into the circulatory system, regulating distant target organs. Our hormone is any of a class of signaling molecules produced by glands and multicellular organisms that are transported by the circular system to target distant organs to regulate physiology and behavior. Hormones have diverse chemical structures, mainly of 3 classes: echosteroids, steroids, and amino acid protein derivatives, amines, peptides, and proteins. The gland that secretes hormones comprise the endocrine systems. Hormones are used to communicate between organs and tissues for psychological regulation and behavior activities such as digestion, metabolism, respiration, tissue function, sensory perception, sleep, excretion, lactation, stress, growth and development, movement, reproduction, and mood. Hormones affect distant cells by binding to specific receptor proteins in the target cell, resulting in change in cell function. This may lead to cell-type specific responses that include rapid changes to the activity of existing proteins or slower changes in the expression of target genes. Amino acid hormones, amines, and peptides or protein hormones are water-soluble and act on the surface of target cells via signal transduction pathways. Steroid hormones, being lipid-soluble, move through the plasma membranes of target cells to act within their nuclei. Endocrine glands are glands of the endocrine system that secrete their products' hormones directly into interstitial spaces and then absorbed into blood rather than through a duct. The major glands of the endocrine system include the pineal gland, pituitary gland, pancreas, ovaries, testes, thyroid gland, and parathyroid gland, hypothalamus, and adrenal glands. The hypothalamus and pituitary glands are neuroendocrine organs. The hypothalamus gland. The hypothalamus is a portion of the brain that contains a number of small nuclei with a variety of functions. One of the most important functions of the hypothalamus is to link the nervous system into the endocrine system via the pituitary gland. The hypothalamus is located below the thalamus and is part of the limbic system. In the terminology of neuroanatomy, it forms the ventral part of the diencephalon. All vertebrate brains contain a hypothalamus. In humans, it is the size of an almond. The hypothalamus is responsible for the regulation of certain metabolic processes and other activities of the autonomic nervous system. It synthesizes and secretes certain neuromorphines called releasing hormones or hypothalamic hormones, and those in turn stimulate or inhibit the secretion of hormones from the pituitary gland. The hypothalamus controls body temperature, hunger, important aspects of parenting and attachment behaviors, thirst, fatigue, sleep, and circadian rhythms. Pituitary gland. The pituitary gland is a pea-sized gland that sits in protective bony enclosure called the cilia turcica, Turkish chair saddle. It is comprised of 3 lobes, the anterior, intermediate, and posterior lobes. In many animals, these lobes are distinct. However, in humans, the intermediate lobe is but a few cell layers thick and indistinct. As a result, it is often considered as part of the anterior pituitary. In all animals, the fleshy, glandular, anterior pituitary is distinct from the neural composition of the posterior pituitary. Pineal gland. The pineal gland is a small endocrine gland in the brain of most vertebrates. The pineal gland produces melatonin, a serotonin-derived hormone which modulates sleep patterns in both circadian and seasonal cycles. The shape of the gland resembles a pine cone from which it derives its name. The pineal gland is located in the epithelial thalamus near the center of the brain, between the 2 hemispheres tucked in a groove where the 2 valves of the thalamus join. The pineal gland is one of the neuroendocrine secretory circumventricular organs that are not part of the blood-brain barrier. Nearly all vertebrate species possess a pineal gland. The results of various scientific research in evolution biology, comparative neuroanatomy, and neurophysiology has explained the phylogeny of the pineal gland in different vertebrate species. From the point of view of biological evolution, the pineal gland represents a kind of atrophied photoreceptor. In the hypothalamus of some species of amphibians and reptiles is linked to a light-sensitive organ, also known as the partial eye, which is also called the pineal eye or third eye. René Descartes believed the human pineal gland to be the principal seat of the soul. Academic philosophy among his contemporaries considered the pineal gland as a neuroanatomical structure without special metaphysical qualities. Science studied it as one of the major endocrine glands among many. 17th century philosopher and scientist René Descartes was highly interested in anatomy and physiology. He discussed the pineal gland both in his first book, The Tristes of Man, written before 1637, and his last book, The Passions of the Soul, and he regarded it as the principal seat of the soul and the place in which our thoughts are formed. In The Tristes of Man, Descartes described conceptual models of man, namely creatures created by God, which consist of two ingredients, a body and a soul. In the Passions, Descartes split man into a body and a soul, and emphasized that the soul is joined to the whole body by a certain very small gland situated in the middle of the brain substance and suspended above the passage through which the spirits in the brain anterior cavities communicate with those in its posterior cavities. In the late 19th century, Madame Blavatsky, who founded Theosophy, identified the pineal gland with the Hindu concept of the third eye or the Anja chakra. This association is still popular today. Rick Strassman, an author and clinical associate professor of psychiatry at the University of New Mexico School of Medicine, has theorized that the human pineal gland is capable of producing the hallucinogenic drug DMT under certain circumstances. In 2013, he and researchers first reported DMT in the pineal gland of rodents. Thyroid gland. The thyroid gland, or simply the thyroid, is an endocrine gland in the neck consisting of two lobes connected by an isthmus. It is found at the front of the neck, below the Adam's apple. The thyroid gland secretes three hormones, namely the two thyroid hormones, thyroxine and tridothyron, and calcitonin. The thyroid hormone primarily influences the metabolic rate and protein synthesis, but they also have many other effects, including effects on development. Calcitonin plays a role in calcium homeostasis. The adrenal glands, also known as supraadrenal glands, are endocrine glands that produce a variety of hormones, including adrenaline and the steroids aldosterone and cortisol. They are found above the kidneys. Each gland has an outer cortex which produces steroid hormones and an inner medulla. Pancreas. The pancreas is an organ of the digestive system and endocrine system of vertebrates. In humans, it is located in the abdomen behind the stomach. The pancreas is a gland having both an endocrine and a digestive excorian function. As an endocrine gland, it functions mostly to regulate blood sugar levels, secreting the hormones insulin, glucagon, somatostatin, and pancreatic polypeptides. As a part of the digestive system, It secretes pancreatic juice into the duodenum through the pancreatic duct. This juice contains bicarbonate, which neutralizes acid entering the duodenum from the stomach, and digestive enzymes, which breaks down carbohydrates, proteins, and fats and entering the duodenum from the stomach. Ovaries. The ovary is an organ found in the female reproductive system that produces an ovum. When released, this travels down the fallopian tube into the uterus, where it becomes fertilized by our sperm. There is an ovary, from Latin ovum, meaning egg, nut, found on the left and right side of the body. The ovaries also secrete hormones that play in the menstrual cycle and fertility. The ovary progress through many stages, beginning in the prenatal period through menopause. It is an endocrine gland because of the various hormones that it secretes. Testes. Testes, or testicle, or testis, is the male reproductive gland or gonad in all animals, including humans. It is homologous to the female ovary. The function of the testes are to produce both sperm and androgens, primarily testosterone. Testosterone released is controlled by the anterior pituitary luteinizing hormone, whereas sperm production is controlled by the anterior pituitary follicle stimulating hormone and gonad, testosterone.